Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is Futures Brizio here, and it is 12:50. Whoops, sorry. It's 12:50 p.m. on Tuesday, July 21st. Hope everybody's doing great, having a good day so far. I just want to jump in here. I'm not at home. I'm not in my office, so I'm using the camera and the audio on my laptop, so I'm hoping that the sound and video is okay. I know the picture looks a little distorted because it's really bright in back of me, so that's washing out my video a little bit, but that doesn't matter. As long as you can hear me and see the screen, then that's cool. So I hope everybody's doing great. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Any questions or comments, whether you're watching, if you end up watching this live or recorded, please let me know. So we'll just jump in. I just want to do a quick review here and just see where we're at. So with a couple of things. And so we'll just jump right in. Now, in terms of these range bar charts, guys, I've been using primarily the 500 range right here that you can see. And then on the right, I might use the 250 range in order to find maybe more precise entries, especially on something like this, of these breakout consolidation ranges that you get really nice with these range charts. So sometimes they're only a few candlesticks like this one. Sometimes they're more. I usually like to see at least 3 candlesticks like this. And then, wait for a breakout on that. And so you can see we did have that, and now we're kind of breaking out to the downside. So to me, that is a potential short opportunity right there. Now, if we go and look at it on this chart, so, and again, guys, I apologize about the graphics. I'm running off of my laptop instead of my big screen, so it tends to scrunch things in a little bit here. But here is that area. So this is that swing high over on the right where my cursor is. This is the 250 range chart. This is the 500. So this is like the bigger picture. This is a little bit of a drill down. So here's that swing high, and then this is that little consolidation area right here. And I like the way it looks better on the 500 because they're all kind of equal highs and lows. And then you can see the breakout candle has happened basically right here, and certainly this one. And so that is a potential shorting opportunity. So that's one to keep an eye on. All right, so let's just jump back. We'll put that one aside. So here's Aussie US dollar. We'll just kind of start from the top here. Aussie US dollar, we've got, again, this little 3 candle range right here. So I've got a little, I've got alert set high above and below there. My bias on this is up right now, but then again, we were coming out of a large downtrend. So I'm not necessarily looking, only at a short position there. And then if we look over here on the 250 to the right, we look at that price action right here. We've got this breakout right here. All right. So theoretically, this one was already along from back here. So I did not take that, but this is where I'm talking about using the 250. So I see this kind of thing set up, and then I wait on the shorter one for a breakout. Now you could also just wait for a breakout above this level, because if this breaks above this zone on the 500 on the larger range, then this is probably going to go higher either way. All right, so that's the Aussie US dollar, pound US dollar we just looked at. New Zealand US dollar has been just rocketing. We've had no entries, here and since back here at the beginning of July, and that's just been going up ever since. Nothing really here of interest on dollar yen. We're kind of working a little triple top area here, so that's nothing I'm really too interested in. This one here on dollar Canadian is kind of interesting. The dollar, on those other pairs looked like it was potentially being weaker, because if you're looking like for a potential, oh no, actually no, I take that back. If we're looking at a potential short here on pound US dollar, and dollar Canadian looks like it wants to go higher. So there's a potential long setup. Now it's not coming out of a range, out of one of these little range boxes, but still, it looks pretty good because we've had this pullback. Now we've had two green candles setting up. So let me just, I got to grab my notes here, guys. I said I'm not at home, so I'm a little out of whack here in terms of what I'm doing. So dollar Canadian long, and what was the other one I said? Was it Aussie? No, it was the pound US dollar. All right, see what else we got here. Nothing really for dollar Swiss. We're kind of just trading inside this range. You can see this very well-defined range. It's a little messy, but it's pretty well-defined. Nothing really here with Aussie CAD. These are just, these minor pairs just get very range-bound a lot. So dollar Aussie yen, I left this box on just to show you. This is a beautiful little consolidation area that shows really well with these range bars. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bars in here, and then breakout right there, right? And then it's just been going up ever since. Only one pullback. Aussie New Zealand is currently in one of these boxes right here, so I'll wait. So that's on the watch list. Okay, Aussie New Zealand. You can see I do have alerts set above and below that range if it breaks out. Really nothing CAD yen, plus it's kind of approaching some swing highs. You can see it's reacting off of there. Swiss yen, I actually have a short on right now from here. I don't know how good this trade's going to be, but I took it this morning on this, and it was basically just because we were putting in these lower highs, and then we seemed to break. We had this kind of little consolidation zone. It's not perfect, but we had this right here. Okay. And we broke out of that on this candle. Now we tried to go lower on this one right here and then pop back in the range, but then it came back with this one. So that at that point I took the short. All right. So I am short on that one. That's actually the only open. I think that's the only open position I have. I might be in the pound Canadian too, but let's see when we get there. Nothing really there. Euro yen has been moving higher, but again, we've got major swing highs about where price is now, so that's not really of much interest to me. Euro New Zealand looks like maybe it's going to turn a corner and start going up. We came back to this old low way back here that was set. When was this? This was back on these lows were put in back at the end of May, so almost 2 months ago. We put these lows in, and then prices come all the way back and is reacting. Now, I'm not ready to take a long here. This looks pretty bullish, but I'd like to see a little consolidation, pull back, and then see it try to continue. So it's on my watch list. Nothing really to do with it now. Pound Aussie had this little consolidation zone here. Broke out. You guys know I was in this short. I had closed it when it hit these lows. It has broken lower now, so which is great, but I'm not in it right at the moment, so we'll see if we get another corrective move. Yeah, pound Canadian I was in, but I closed it. I tried to go short here, and it got caught up at these lows and started trending higher, so I closed it before it got any worse. So this is not a great area right now. It would have to clear this zone before I would think about any short. So I'm not in that right now anymore. And pound New Zealand is like a lot like pound Aussie. It came down to these old lows. It did wick through it. We had one candle break below right here, way out to the right back here, but then it seems to be going higher. And, have we put in a higher low right here and start going higher? We'll see. I mean, you have to respect the downtrend that's been happening here, but this has the early looks of, of a long position. So I'll put it on my watch list, and we'll see how that plays out. New Zealand, Canadian. I did have this area marked off. This was a really nice little 5-candle zone here, but I didn't take it because we've got, if we zoom out, we've got major swing highs right here. And you can see price did go right back to those old highs, and then it's reacting now back inside the range. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to fall from here, but clearly there's, you know, that area is being watched by sellers around that 82.5 area. So I wasn't comfortable taking that just because I didn't feel there was any overhead. And New Zealand yen's kind of the same thing. It's bumping up against some old highs here. And even though when I drew this arrow, I did expect prices to go higher, and it did. It came out of this zone. But again, you know, we're back to some old highs right here. And so I at least expected a reaction. That doesn't mean, again, it's going to like reverse. I'm not telling you to go short. To me, there's no action to take here right now because we've hit these old highs. We're pulling back. So now what I would love to see is a little range to set up. Again, at least 3 candles, a nice sideways range that I can define, and then wait and see what it does after that. But right now, to me, there's no action on this at all at the moment. All right. And then quickly over on grains, I did have one grain trade I took earlier, which I'm already out of. I really hate not being on my office computer with all this. But we can just look at these really quick anyways. So here's wheat. Wheat is now kind of moving sideways. We've been in this sideways pattern really for about the last 5 or 6 days. Just been kind of going. We can actually extend this box now. It's because we're just kind of stuck in this sideways pattern. So not really much to do. You can see the moving averages have now flattened out. I mean, we've had such a big run up here since the end of June. We've gone nowhere but up. So now we're just, you know, is the market taking a pause, or are we going to, you know, have some distribution start going down? I don't know. But with this sideways action, this kind of range bound, it's not really anything I'm looking to trade. Nothing really to do here with corn. It's interesting because corn there was a nice long here, came out of there, and you can see now we've kind of got a little double top in place. So, you know, maybe we're getting a little tired on the up move here, but we'll see. But either way, there was really no trade because I like to see these pull back into the moving average ranges. They respect these areas well. I, you know, even like to see them once in a while break the moving average range, as long as it doesn't change the overall structure of the market, which none of these would have. So, you know, these kind of shallow pullbacks, especially after a double top, is probably not the best trade idea. So nothing there. Which one did I take? Oh yeah, I think this is the one I took. Yeah, I took this one this morning. I don't have my execution marks. Again, I'm not on my regular laptop. No, it's not even showing. Oh, you know why? Because I'm not logged into my prop firm on TradingView, so that's fine. I got into this morning. Prior to the market open. Let's see. This was at. Yeah, I'm not. Oh. No, I take that back. I got into this last night. I got into this last night on this nice pullback right here into the moving average, and I got out probably about an hour or so ago. I had a take profit sitting at these old highs. So that was the one trade I took. It was like $250 or something. And that's it. So there's not really a lot to do. Soybean meal looks like it's kind of turning, and now we're starting to trend down. So if we get a better pullback here, I might start looking for potentially short positions in soybean oil. You know, although soybean oil can have really, really prolonged corrective moves. If we zoom out here and we look at soybean oil, that's why I hesitated taking any shorts here. Because if we zoom out, yes, this is a pretty big corrective move we're in right now. But if we look back here, this is very similar in terms of just length and shape. You compare this move to this move, right? Not all that different. And even going back to this one over here. All right, going back to this one over here, again, pretty substantial before it finally broke higher. So I'm not ready to just jump in and start shorting this thing. But in terms of like violating market structure to see an overall shift lower, honestly, we would have to come down and probably take out these old lows right in here. All right. So this was the last major pullback before we went up and made these new highs, was right in here. So, you know, we'd have to see a violation of the market below here before the market structure, the overall bullish market structure changes. But at least in the short term, we're trending down. But I would just rather put this aside and just wait and see if we get more of a longer term shift away from there. Okay. So not really much else to do with these. You know, soybeans, we got this little pullback, but the time of day is not right. I mean, the market closes in just over an hour. So this is not a long I would take right now anyways, just because of the time of day. And I do like to see these pull back a little deeper. Again, these are usually pretty strong pullbacks. They usually pull back right into the bigger moving average, the 34 period, and maybe even below that. So this is a pretty shallow pullback. So I probably would not take it based on that. Plus, just again, the time of the day is not right. So that was the one trade I took today in futures, was in soy meal. And like I said, I'm already in and out of that. All right. So yeah, so that's what we're looking at right now, guys. And yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to go over with you. Yeah, so make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments on these, on trading with these range charts, or how I look at these, you know, let me know. Always happy to help out. But that's my analysis and what I'm kind of watching in Forex, especially. Again, not much else to do in the futures market. I've got to wait for some things to become a little bit more clear before I jump into anything else. So, all right. So I'll leave it there, guys. I hope everybody's doing well, and have a good rest of the afternoon. And I will be back. All right. Take care. Have a good one.